welcome to the Week 8 recap show here on the Mayo Media Network. Let's break down Week 8, who to buy low, who to sell high, what the hell happened. Go.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Let's start off with Dalvin Cook dropping 163 yards and 3 TDs in this contest. Guy's beasting out. The guy is a touchdown machine, and don't expect it to change. If you're drafting today moving forward, he's in your top 3, easy, but you could draft him number 1. I'd easily accept anybody's argument that said that they were taking Dalvin Cook at the 1.1 if you were looking at, let's say, week 9 on only, and you weren't factoring in anything, even what he just did right now. Week 9 on, Dalvin Cook 1.1, I'm buying that. I'm also looking at McCaffrey there and Kamara there, but Cook is making a case for being the most valuable player moving forward. Hey, Smitty, why are we holding on to Zach Moss? Can we drop Zach Moss now? Hey, Smitty, J.K. Dobbins, why are we holding on to J.K. Dobbins? Can we drop J.K. Dobbins? No! J.K. finally getting his shot. 15 carries for 113 in the Ravens' Week 8 loss to the Steelers. That's a tough matchup for him to drop this kind of usage and production in. Now, I don't know if he's going to get the same kind of run moving forward. Ingram could have something to say about that. They may be loyal to him, but all I know is that if JK is available on waivers, and I've been telling you all week to grab him if he is, so shame on you if you didn't. But he's a league winner. Like, he may not be used, but if he is, he's a league winner. And league winners, you put on your bench no matter what. You stash, you wait. He was a great play this week with all the injuries and people out. So if you started him, congrats. And same thing with Zach Moss. You don't leave a guy like Zach Moss who, if Singletary went down, something that could easily happen with Devin Singletary, his size, how he plays, Zach Moss would go crazy. 14 carries, 81 yards, and 2 TDs. Congrats to those who started him. And there were a lot of you that had no other option but to go with Moss, and you held on to him like Smitty told you, and it paid dividends. Believe in Zach Moss if he does get the lone start. Like, if Singletary sits out at any point, watch out. This could be a high-end running back too. And like J.K. Dobbins, we don't really have any guarantees though. But I think Moss is going to pay dividends given where you got him off of waivers or late in your draft and you've been holding him. You've been holding him very, very upset. Like,
why hasn't he done anything?
But now he did. This is what we were afraid of. DeAndre Swift, only 6 carries for 1 yard and 3 of 4 targets for 22. Detroit does not know how to use running backs. Dating all the way back to Barry Sanders, one small, short stint of Reggie Bush is all we've gotten out of Detroit. They're horrible at grooming and molding and producing elite running backs. This is why I don't believe in Swift. This is why I avoided him in rookie drafts and on draft day. I didn't mind buying low. I still kind of don't mind buying low, but we're talking cellar dweller territory. Like throw-in value. But I'm not putting all my faith in him. He has to be a part of a 2-player package that you're getting. I'm not a fan of going and getting him 1 for 1. Next up on the list, we could talk about Stefon Diggs. I mean, the dude is elite, but given that he didn't get a touchdown, he had kind of a quietly awesome game. 6 for 9 targets, 92 yards. You might be able to grab him low in a trade. Don't be shy about making an offer. Now, Ronnie Stanley out for the year. This is horrible, horrible news for Lamar Jackson, who I think still is a good buy low. If people are worried about this situation, people that own Lamar probably have 2 quarterbacks, so they're probably tempted to get rid of Lamar if the price is right. But Staley going down is a huge, huge blow to this Ravens team. Lamar doing pretty good damage off of a kind of up and down game. 208 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions, and adding 16 yards for 65, or 16 rushes for 65 yards. But he had a long touchdown called back, so he actually played a little better in this game than the stats might read. I think Lamar had a tough matchup here against the Steelers, and he's a great buy low even with this horrible news right here. Now, I am worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes. I'm not worried about Tyreek Hill. I'm not worried about Travis Kelce. This offense is firing on all cylinders in terms of the passing game. Look at Tyreek Hill, 98 yards and 2 TDs. Patty Mahomes, 416 and 5 TDs. Kelce had 100 and a touchdown. But Clyde, Clyde was nowhere to be found, and I am worried. I am worried about Clyde. I still buy low because that's my nature, to attack a player that I do believe in talent-wise that might be at a disadvantage situationally, and that maybe that could improve. Now you're buying low. You're not buying medium. You're not buying high. You buy low or you don't buy at all. If you own him, you have to hold him. What are you going to do? Sell him for the price tag I'm telling other people to buy him at? No, you're not going to benefit from that. But yeah, I'm worried. Why aren't they using him? I don't know. They ran the ball so much that week that he had over 100 yards and looked amazing. And now they're not running the football. They're very matchup based. They're very script based, and he got scripted out of the game. Bottom line, he is out touching Lev Bell. I'm not too much worried about Bell as much as I'm worried about the Chiefs being consistent with his workload. But what can I say? I am worried. I am worried about Clyde Edwards-helaire. We spent a lot of draft capital on this guy, and he's not delivering. So we'll keep tabs on that. But you know who is delivering? A guy named
Davante Adams.
7 for 12, 53 and 3 TDs. The guy knows how to score touchdowns. I love me some Davante Adams and expect that to continue. Josh Allen's a pretty good buy low heading into week 9, 154 and an interception. I think people are going to be really worried about him. I'm not saying to buy him like I said with Clyde. Buy him at not even medium value. You buy him at seller dweller pricing, or you don't buy him at all. But he could be a guy that if you're struggling, you need a quarterback, you lost Dak, whoever owns Allen may have another alternative quarterback. They may have Herbert, they may have Tannehill, they may have Burrow. You might be able to get him for a screaming deal that could maybe give you a shot at making your playoffs or advancing through your playoffs. So take a stab at buying low on that man right there. Jonathan Taylor, I take a stab at him too. Again, the common theme here, you buy low. You don't buy at anything but low pricing. Jonathan Taylor, 11 carries for 22 yards. I don't know what the hell is going on with him, but I do know that he has a lot of value if they give him the ball, if the offense can put him in a position to score touchdowns. But there's no telling whether he will get going at all in 2020 as a rookie. But it's worth a stab if you can get him at like way outside of running high-end running back 2 territory. We're talking about 2/running back 3, almost flex territory. Then I take a stab at Jonathan Taylor because there you're kind of protected. And I think he can win you a league if he does go crazy. AJ Brown, I buy low because people don't like 24 yards in a TD. They want more. Corey Davis at 100 yards. People will be freaking out, and I take a stab at AJ Brown if I'm looking for a spark on my team. And of course, Josh Jacobs,
Jingleheimer Schmidt,
31 totes for 128. You know, his owners are frustrated. He didn't get a touchdown. They wanted a touchdown. He was at the goal line. They fed him. He couldn't get it in. You might take a stab, see what you can get him for. Pat Mayo is going to have all of your afternoon game. I mean, DK Metcalf going crazy, 100 yards and 2 TDs already. I'm watching the game right here out of the corner of my eye. DK is fire. DK is a first-round draft pick in 2021 drafts. In Dynasty, top 12 overall player. DK looks fantastic. Russell Wilson going crazy. Afternoon games are always a little bit calmer because there's less games going on. Pat Mayo is going to have all your updates there and your buy lows. He has a buy low show. But I also have a buy low show. You can find all my content over at smitty1.com, which is my YouTube show, my quick link. All my social is above my head. And definitely find me on IG at the.fantasy.football.show. And get on over to my YouTube show. Let's get after the buy lows, the sell highs, all that. And be sure to wait for all of Pat Mayo's updates on the Week 8 and heading into Week 9 content. Thank you.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.